It's the Cod.
Episode 32.
You know what it is. Back again. Back
Yes,
again.
sir, with your hosts, Ryan and Paul.
Hey, it's Paul and Ryan. My man Ryan, he jumped on last episode. He had Artificial on. What my man say?
Yes, sir. Shout out Artificial.
Mm-hmm. He say
Fake is
fake,
the new real.
hey, fake flowers last longer. I felt that in my soul
Last
when I was
longer.
listening to
Yes,
that,
sir.
bro.
Come on, man. I copped this
Wow.
shirt.
Yeah, I see that.
I copped that shirt. I copped that shirt actually. I gotta
Mm.
I gotta take a picture and tag him just to show support. It came with a sticker and it came with a pin.
Nice,
I gave
nice.
my mom the pen. She really liked that. So,
Yeah, man.
good
It
summer
looked
vibe, spring vibe.
absolutely. It looked dope, bro. And when he went into depth about fake flowers last longer, man, what'd you feel about that, bro? Because I was like, damn,
I
that's a
felt
strong
it,
take.
man. Because, I told him when I first heard the brand or when I was first getting, acclimated to the brand, I was like, fake. What's this? Stay fake, fake flowers, fake this, fake is the new real. I didn't understand it, because in the episode I explained to him like, why be fake? So when my homie, shout out Khalil, when he explained what it meant, I was like, okay, I get that. So like, I think my mom had the same reaction when she saw the shirt. She was like, "What is that?" So I'm like,
Right,
"It's artificial." Read the stuff on the back. She was like, "Fake flowers last." She was kind of like, "What's going on?"
right.
So I explained it. I was like, when you give people their flowers, normal flowers die and people throw them away. Fake flowers last forever. And she was like, you know what, that's true because she started buying, fake flowers to like stay in the crib rather than continually buying real flowers over and over and over. Maybe
Exactly.
here and there for a special occasion, but yeah. So she definitely felt it. She was like, okay, yeah, fake flowers last longer. So I think that's definitely something that a lot of people like understand.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And I think that man, for me it had like a deeper meaning, right? And I'm gonna drop it. Like when I read that and when I heard him explain it, and you telling your story right now, it's like this is the world we live in, right? We live in the social media world. We live in the fake body world. We live in the fake
Yep.
world, the fake love world, right? So it's like, so I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I feel like people, they thrive and their egos are pumped up by that 15 minutes of fake fame, you know what I'm saying, that they get. So like,
Yes, sir.
maybe I'm being a little bit too philosophical, but like that's how I kind of felt
Nah, it's
into it.
real.
When I was listening to it, I was like,
Yeah.
damn. I was like, he touched on something right there, really got my wheels turning. So I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
it was a dope episode, man. Thank you to him for jumping on. That's for
Yes,
sure.
man. Shout out to Sheku, man.
Yeah,
Definitely,
absolutely.
definitely a dope addition to the lineup of guests we've had so far.
You feel me?
But if y'all was paying attention to the episode, I kind of explained why Paul wasn't in the house.
Hey man.
He actually had called me. He called me like a few minutes before the pod was supposed to start, and he had hit me up that he was in Fort Lauderdale and everything. Um, Jay Free and Nico was like, "Why didn't you hit him up?" But that's for later. That's for later. But nah, man. So you had already told me that you was gonna be down there and whatnot. So I just figured like, I don't know if you brought your laptop down there, but we gonna figure it out. And then you was like, yeah, I should be back around noon, and then we can
Right.
get it popping. So everything was all good. But you called me like, a few minutes before, and you were like, yo, I'm in the
Yeah.
airport right now. The flight is canceled.
Yeah,
The
man.
skies is bad, man. Like, what happened with that? How
Hey
how'd
man,
everything work out?
and you know what? And that's a good subject to talk about because of all the stuff that's going down in Miami right now with spring break, right? All hell's breaking loose,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
they kind of they kind of
Explain it, man.
they kind of in a state of emergency right now because all the spring breakers. But what happened in my case
Yeah.
is that man, if you guys are paying attention to the news, Denver got a record-setting blizzard, 27 inches. Denver got so they canceled over 3,000 flights. Like we showed up for the flight, they canceled it. They said we couldn't get out till Tuesday. So we're scrambling, right? It's spring break, so all the hotels are taken up. Our Airbnb had run out, so
Mm.
I had to not only like try to get my refund from my flight, but I had to book another flight to try to get out as quick as possible because I had to, come back and handle business and go to work and things of
Get
that
to
nature.
work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And not only that, but then I had to book a hotel room and all the hotels were sold out. So it was just like, that perfect storm of BS. But thank God that it was still nice down in
Yeah.
Florida. So it kind of kept my spirits up. But man, for them to tell you on a Sunday when you show up at the airport that your flight is canceled, and then you ask them like, okay, well, when's the next flight, right? Maybe tomorrow or something, and they're like, nah, not till Tuesday. 2 days, later, now I gotta find lodging. Like, man, it was a lot going on, bro. And
I bet, man.
yeah, so I locked it in, and then obviously I had to call my colleagues and boss and stuff, and work that out. I was gonna be gone for extra 2 days, which is a real thing. But I mean, 27 inches, man, that's no punk. 3,000 flights canceled.
No.
They had to shut it down. It was actually the third or fourth worst blizzard in Colorado history, which is crazy. Because Colorado,
Yeah.
you think about Colorado, you think about the mountains, you think about the snow. So if you're talking about like the third or fourth worst blizzard, like that's serious. So that's what happened to me on
Yeah.
that day. And man, I was down there. The spring breakers were going crazy. The clubs were going crazy, and I'm like, man, I'm just trying to relax. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
relax.
yeah, yeah.
So
So what happened, man? You found a spot?
yeah, I locked it in, man. They got me out Tuesday night. Actually, I locked in a spot. Actually, me and a couple of my homies, we locked in like the last spot on a flight. I was flying United. United didn't have any other spots because everybody they canceled before us, were rebooking. So we had to jump on a Spirit and pay that outrageous luggage fee. Spirit. Shout out to Spirit. Had to pay that outrageous luggage fee, but
Shout out. Shout out. Yes, sir.
no, it's all good. But yeah, we made it back. We made it back on time, and luckily, I was able to. I had to put in some long hours the next couple of days to catch up. You know what I mean? But luckily, I was able to get
Yeah.
back down and handle my business. So the show must go on full speed ahead, and
Hey,
that's what it
did
is.
you hit any extra parties while you was in limbo?
Man, I actually got to eat. So the hotel that we found was actually right off the beach, man. It was like a block from the beach, so it was beautiful.
Cool.
So we did
Okay.
find there was actually a spot close to us that was like a salsa, reggae, like Caribbean type spot. So we slid in there and got some drinks and hung out for a while and shit. And like I said, it was a decent crowd, and man, we had a great time, man. Honestly, we had a great time. Minus the setbacks on the travel, but it was a gift and a curse, man. It was a blessing. It was a blessing, man. And we talking full speed ahead, man. I got to bring this up too, since we were going over the last episode. If you haven't checked out episode 2 of the card, make sure you jump on and check out episode 2. NASCAR driver Bill Lester, who drove
Yes, sir.
yesterday, he drove yesterday
Okay.
in the
Okay.
NASCAR Truck Series. Finished 36, but it was down at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is a 60-year-old dude. You know,
Hey, I did not know he was still racing. I thought when we spoke to him, he was retired. He was looking back. It was
Mhm.
a retrospect for him, but
Hey, he stepped
he's
in.
live and direct, man. Okay, so
Yeah,
36. Okay, that's
yeah.
not bad. That's
That's
not
not
bad.
bad, man. After not racing for years and jumping in a Ford, truck
Yes,
and,
sir.
and hitting the speedway, a lot of the comments and a lot of the commentary that I saw and a lot of the media, they were like, "Man, this dude is the real deal. Like he's still keeping up with the youngins."
Hell
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, I mean,
That's my
shout out to
dog.
Bill. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Bill Lester, man. If you haven't checked out episode 2, make
Yes,
sure you
sir.
go back and check that out. That was an honor to have him on. Me and Ryan had a good time during that interview. He
Definitely.
dropped a lot of jewels. You know. So I
Yes,
mean,
sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to the legend, man.
yeah, that's facts. That's facts. You watching the tournament, man? You watching the NCAA?
Look, man, I don't really have anybody, to root for, so I'm just rooting for, home squads and whatnot. Um, I know Virginia had an upset.
Hmm.
They lost, so
Yeah.
they're out. Today, I think it was another upset. I'm pretty sure uh Illinois lost. If I'm yeah, because
Yeah,
I did watch that game. So Illinois lost to Loyola,
Loyola Chicago.
and
I'm like, come on,
yeah,
man.
Loyola Chicago. Come on. So that was an upset. But shout out Loyola Chicago because
Yeah.
I do not know her name, but they have this teacher who she's like 101 years old. She's been at that school forever. So she was in the crowd, she's still watching, she's still, part of the fanfare,
Yeah, Sister
keeping
Jean.
hope alive.
Yeah, Sister
Yes, sir. Your
Jean.
sister G. Shout out.
Hey,
So
101
she
years
was
old.
there, man.
Uh,
Crazy.
hey, she's in the
Still kicking.
yeah. When she was giving her speech, man, she sounded more like an analyst than anything. She's like, yeah,
Right?
they not good at the free throw line. Like you guys, I pray that you guys can get rebounds over them. I'm like, man, slow down, Sister Jean.
Yeah.
There's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hear
But
everybody.
look, they
Go
did
ahead.
it, man.
They did it, man. And you know what? I got to put my support behind them now. Like, I mean, that's
Hmm.
they from the
Home team.
yeah, they from the
Home
crib. So
squad.
what I'm gonna do? What am I gonna do about
But you peeped any other games, man? What's it like right now? Who do you think is got a chance to really take it all the way?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. It's been a lot of upsets, man. Oral Roberts, they beat a big team. Shoot, turn around and North Texas beat Purdue, like
Yeah.
all brand schools. So really, man, it's anybody's game right now. I mean, I know
And Duke isn't in it this year, right?
nah, Duke isn't it for the first time in a long time. First time in a long
Yeah.
time
So
because they traditionally, pretty good basketball school, but uh
yeah.
Gonzaga's ranked number one. They won yesterday, so we'll see, man. I see everybody out here with their brackets, man. You got any bets out there? Or you just cooling?
I'm cooling, man. I'm cooling. Like I said, I haven't really done my due diligence to like really figure out the strengths and the weaknesses. So, like
Right.
I said, the only people I'm going for is home team. Virginia's out. Loyola Chicago still in.
Yeah.
Um, Man, what I know, I hope Maryland's still in. I saw Maryland playing, but I didn't catch the actual end of their game.
Right.
And I know they're right around the corner for me right now. So, I mean, that's about it. I know Obama on his bracket, he has Gonzaga going all the way.
Mm-hmm. Gonzaga's
So,
number one, man, and they're looking
yeah.
good. They're well coached, and their team plays team
Hmm.
ball. I think that's the key. I think that's the key is making good decisions and playing team ball, man. It's just like
Exactly.
I mean, that's a lesson for life, right? Like, man, teamwork makes the dream work.
Hmm.
And man, moving forward, man, I just hope that they stick to that plan. They're looking real good. They're looking real good. They are the favorites, but it's just something exciting about seeing like an underdog, beat a big team. I think that's what makes it exciting. But man, people got their brackets out there. People are betting out there. I won a little money on the North Texas versus Purdue. Not saying I was going against Purdue, but it's just something about how North Texas plays that and everybody's excited about it. You know,
Yes, sir.
but shoot, it's all good. We're going into the spring, man. Baseball is starting. All these sports are starting. We got shit. We had a new versus. My
Hmm.
boy, Raekwon, the chef, Ghostface killer.
Hey,
Give it to me.
only built for Cuban links, right?
You heard me.
So I tuned in, man. This was the first verses. This was the first verses that was on the Triller platform. If you was paying attention before, verses was something that Swiss Beats and Timberland had always controlled and put together. So it was really only on IG Live, right? And then they had a deal with Apple Music. So
Right,
Apple Music, if you had that, you can either watch it on your phone or you could, and I think they also had it on Title as well, streaming. So if you had Title, you can look at it on their platform. With Apple Music, I mean, and Title, I think they both have desktop apps, but you could open it up on your laptop, so you can take it from your phone, open it up on your laptop, and see the whole production HD.
right,
So instead of just watching it on, IG Live, which is just going to be like this,
right.
now you can watch it on your computer screen, get that 16 by 9 widescreen, Not every, and you don't have the comments constantly in front of the people. I
Exactly.
mean, that's great to like, interact with other fans, but it's a different experience to really have that HD feel and look when you really getting to see, what room are they in, what's the venue like, everything.
Yeah.
So, recently, Triller came in, and Triller, if you don't know, they were kind of like a video app. Originally you could like take clips from your phone and put them together and make like makeshift music videos and stuff like that. But nowadays, what they've gotten into is like event management and stuff like that. So like recently, they were the ones who put on the Tyson fight.
Right.
When it, who did he fight? It
Roy
was
Jones
him
Jr.
and
Him and,
Holyfield.
him and Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones, my bad.
Yeah,
Roy
yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
Shout out to
So
Holyfield
so
though. We
yeah,
love to
he
see that too.
yeah. So they put on that, but now they're getting into the versus thing. They had reached out to Swiss and Tim, offered them something. So now they are co-owners of the Versus brand,
Right, right.
and everyone who's participated before has a stake in the company. But yeah, this was the first Versus event on the Triller platform. So, I went to triller.co, and they had it right there live on the website. And it was still available on IG Live if you wanted to look at it that way.
Right.
But it was dope, man. The streaming platform was great. I mean, it's not like you had to have some Apple Music subscription or anything. You could just go there, sign up, and start watching quick. So, I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan. I know
Big,
you are.
big
So
Wu
it
Tang.
was dope, man. Like I wasn't even keeping score like that. Like for a minute, I was like, man, is this a concert or is this verses? Because
Right.
usually the artists are telling stories. They're sitting there like, hey, I'm going to hit you with this one. I got this one.
Exactly.
Even though it's a celebration, people are still competitive. And this one, it was just song after song after song. And I'm sitting there like, they don't really seem like they're competing. And it was like maybe like halfway in or an hour and a half when I heard Raekwon be like, dang, bro, you putting me in a corner. Hold on, what we got, DJ? And I'm like, man, ain't no corner, man. Just do the hits, man.
Just
So
rock with it. Yeah.
yeah, man. I love to hear everything that they had from, like I said, Only Built for Cuban Links, Supreme Clientele. I
Yeah,
mean, we had
for sure.
Ghostface do Jersey La Ghost. He did Run. Um, Raekwon even dropped some of his newer stuff that he had where he featured on some Kanye records. They did New God Flow. So yeah, man, it was a lot. Did you tune in?
Yeah, bro. I got and I'm jump back to what you said previously, bro. I'm really appreciating the evolution of the verses, right? And Triller taking it over is probably the best thing to happen because like you said, I'm a huge Wu Tang fan. You a huge Wu Tang fan. Like this was more of a treat. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Them
Yep.
competing, like that's just for fun. Like
Exactly.
they really
Exactly.
family. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
they really family. And I'm a
Yeah.
hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, me seeing
Hmm.
Raekwon, me seeing the chef and Ghostface in there, going at it, blow for blow, song for song, but not really doing that.
Yeah.
Just kind of just rocking out, and me being able to watch it kind of
Chilling.
yeah, chilling in a cinematic type of view. You know what I mean? Like that's dope,
Hmm.
bro. Like man, no comments, no nothing, just
Yeah.
just into the music, and I appreciate that a lot, bro. Like this was actually a treat. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, I'm over here rocking out. I threw on every chain I own. I was like, fuck it.
Come on. Come on.
You know what I'm
Hey, and,
saying?
speaking on style, obviously they both came through with their style,
Right.
but they look good for their age, man. Like
Yeah.
I did see some comments like, "Yo, are they on a vegan diet?" You know what I mean? Because a few years ago, I don't know if Ghost had some health problems, but like you can kind of see it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you can kind of see it when he was in public. So now it looked like he had lost weight. He looks young. He had a lot of energy. I mean, Ghost and Ray both had a lot of energy, but they don't look like they aged really.
And you know what?
So
I'm gonna touch on this subject, bro, because and this is off the verses.
yeah.
One of my boys, man, and
Hmm.
I know he wouldn't mind me telling this story because it's real. He just recently
Yeah.
because he had high blood pressure, And he recently had an experience
Mm-hmm.
where, they were testing him like, man, your blood pressure's too high, your blood pressure's too high, take these pills, right? Take these pills. And my boy was like, man, like, I don't really want to be on these pills for the rest of my life. So he's like, man, what do I got to do? He said he
Mm-hmm.
started doing his own research, and he came across some, some holistic kind of medicine, like switch up your diet, don't eat these things, eat these
Yeah.
things. He switched up his diet. He started to feel better, he started to look better, he started to lose weight, you know what I'm saying, he started to have more energy. Went back to the doctor, doctor testing his blood pressure's down, blood pressure's normal,
Hey,
just off
come
of
on.
what he was eating, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just off of what he was eating. And I know that there's
Mm-hmm.
been a lot of articles, and there's been a lot of people who touched on the subject of certain communities being food deserts, right? Like only having certain types of food, unhealthy stuff, no fresh
Yes, sir.
options. You know what I'm saying? So that goes back to what you're saying right now. Like, man, did he switch up his diet? Like, what is he doing different? Like, is he a vegan? Like, what's
Mm-hmm.
happening? And that's what made me think of that story. Like, man, like you really can change up your life, extend your life, and live healthier just by the things that you eat. Consumption is what you
Exactly.
are. So I mean, man,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Ghost, shout out to my homie who told me that story. But
Yes,
that,
sir.
but it reminded me of what you were about to say right now.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's facts, because it was like I'm telling you, it was like a few years ago. I was like, man, I don't know if Ghost is going through something. I think he might have mentioned it, but I was like, I just hope he's good.
Hmm.
And today it was just like a different Ghost.
Man,
I'm like, sheesh, he back out here. Like
out
he
here,
ain't miss a step.
no,
So, I guess what it really speaks to is and there's a lot of rappers who are of his age who are now like health is wealth.
right,
Styles P, he owns a juice bar or multiple juice bars out in New York and
yeah,
stuff like that. And he preaches a vegan lifestyle and things like that. So it's like one of those things that's just like it's cool to be healthy. So the first
absolutely,
step is diet. Maybe you're not the biggest exerciser, maybe that's another step for you. But even before you get in the gym, look at your diet first.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that was huge to see, man.
Yeah, you can go to the gym all day, but if you're not, you can have a big truck, but if it's a diesel truck and you putting it, 85 in there, it ain't gonna run.
Unleaded.
It ain't
Yeah.
gonna run right.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna run right.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So,
you know,
start paying attention to that, man.
hey, speaking of such things, man, I just signed up to get my vaccine.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
you.
The VA
I
hit
see
me up
you.
and they were like, man, you want to come get it? And of course, for a second, I was like, man.
I don't know. Yeah, man.
Hey, for a minute, I was like, I don't know, I don't know, man. But you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
know those vibes.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna go get it on Tuesday. So
Cool.
I'll let the listeners know how it is. It's supposed to be the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
dose.
yeah.
I'm doing the double dose joint, so I'm gonna get the
Yes, sir.
first one on Tuesday, and then they're gonna set
Yes,
me up for the
sir.
second. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. So I know that they have a lot of vaccinations out there. Johnson just dropped the one shot. So if you can get it,
Hmm.
I'm gonna encourage you to get it because there's a lot of people, a lot of medical, a lot of medical workers, doctors, and nurses. And I'm gonna tell you what, if it wasn't safe, they wouldn't be getting it. So so
Yeah,
so you got to
yeah,
know that.
yeah. No, that's a fact.
Yeah,
That's a fact. And shout out, Khalil, our homie out in Hawaii. I know he just dropped a pod, word on the street, and
right
in
up.
it he was talking about his experience with the vaccination and how Hawaii's kind of opening up and just the newfound freedom that he's experiencing. Seeing more tourists out and about and things like that. So
Right,
from the people who have taken the vaccine so far, so good. I
right.
haven't heard any horror stories yet. So,
I mean, and
and it's one of
I put my
yeah,
personal life on the line. My mom's just got it. She got
yeah,
she got the
yeah.
Johnson and Johnson. So it's kind of one
Okay.
of those things, man. It's like do you roll the dice with catching it and not recovering because she has pre-existing conditions? Excuse me.
Hmm.
Do you roll the dice and not get it, or do you just say, you know, forget it, let me get it, let me protect myself? I mean, it is what it
And
is.
look, man, how we don't know how things are gonna play out, right?
Right.
Because it's a lot of places that I'm hearing now that they're trying to like kind of put some pressure on employers to either promote the vaccine or say one of those things like, hey, when this office opens back up, we want to make sure if you're going to come into work, you have the vaccine. So is it going to be one of those things where employers are going to let you, and it's not like they're not, I don't want to say let you, like they have some type of like
Saying what's happening. Yeah.
say over your life, you can do
Right.
whatever you want. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so if people are going back into the office, they're going to probably prefer people to be vaccinated who are going back into the office. So if you don't want to be vaccinated, is your job going to be understanding and say, you know what, keep on working remote for however long you want to? Or are they going to move forward? Because a lot of times with these jobs, when you sign up, they do have that clause saying, they can terminate you for any reason at any time.
Hmm.
So not necessarily like I don't want to make it seem like if you don't get vaccinated you're going to get fired. I don't want to make it seem like that. I'm
Right.
just saying when the world opens back up, are we going to see a lot more places start to put protocols in place like, hey, if you're going to come back into the office, be vaccinated. Hey, if you want to go to this concert, show
Gotta be.
proof that you're vaccinated. Hey, if you want to travel, show proof that you're vaccinated. I don't know if we're going to get to that stage,
Hey, you know
but
what?
it's like, do you want to roll that dice because it could get there.
No, that's big facts though, bro. That's big facts. Like, and
Yeah.
what we have to remember too is this, and we're American. We live in America,
Yep.
right?
Yes,
Every
sir.
every country they don't have the rights. Every country has
Mhm.
different rights, has different laws, has different human laws. So
Yes.
a country has every right not to let Americans in if you didn't get vaccinated.
Yep.
That's your choice here in America. But if you're trying to go visit Spain, there's nothing saying that Spain has to let you in if you don't got your vaccination
Hey,
papers.
man, that's a fact. It's a
They could
fact.
they could turn your ass right around and say, "Nah, we
Yep.
good." you know?
So it's something to think about. It's
Yeah,
just the choices.
yeah, that's big facts. I mean, and like I said, I personally choose to protect myself. If I'm gonna be around my family or see people, if I'm gonna travel, if me and you, we're gonna do a live pod, like I want to protect myself
Come
and those
on.
around me. I want to be that guy.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want to be the cause
Hmm.
of somebody getting sick and one of their loved ones perishing because they're asymptomatic. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's just my
Hmm.
stance on the whole thing. But man, just stay safe.
Exactly.
Just stay safe, man. If you don't want to get vaccinated and you don't really trust the virus, wear your mask and stay home. And that's it. Makes wise decisions.
Exactly. Do do your research, man. Wait it out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, man.
It's
I
one of them
guess.
things, man.
Yeah, man. So we rolling. We
But
rolling with
hey,
that.
man. So my bad. Exactly. No, I was gonna say, to wrap up the versus talk. So I think that was a dope versus. I enjoyed myself. Next, what they've said is that Ice Leaves versus Earth, Wind, and Fire is
Ooh,
next.
man, that's a jam
So
session.
that should be,
That's a
yeah,
jam
that's a
session.
jam session. That's a classy affair.
Period. I might have to put on. I might have to put on the slips and you know what I'm saying, a nice shirt for
Come
that one.
on. Start shuffling around the crib.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Come
and
on, man.
and then the 420 special is Method Man and Redman.
Of course. Of course. I mean, but you know
So
what? But that's I think
yeah.
the Method Man, so the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire, that's the jam session. But I think
Yeah.
The Meth and the Red Man, that's a classic like this one. You know what I
Come
mean?
on. Come on.
You know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Come on.
Part two.
Yeah,
Bring another member of the Wu and a Wu affiliate. And of
yeah,
course, the guys from How High. They're going to be performing on 420, so we understand,
We get it.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man, I think right now, Versus is in a good spot, man. They got good matchups lined up, and like I know before, when you have like say like a Keisha Cole and Ashanti, you have Gucci Man and Jeezy, you can clearly look at it and be like, oh, this is a battle. I got my scorecard. I'm trying to see who won.
Right.
But when you have, Ghost and Ray, you're like, all right, man, like this is a concert, bro. I'm chilling. Like
Straight
I'm
up.
not even paying attention. When you have the Isleys and Earth, Wind, and Fire, like I guess it's up to them if they really want to magnify that competitive aspect, but both their catalogs meshing together song for song, who's
Yeah.
gonna be paying attention? You're just gonna be jamming, you know what
Exactly.
I mean?
And I'm gonna
Method
call it
and
out.
Red, like
Hey,
come
hey.
on, like I think, yeah,
No, I was gonna say. No, I'm just gonna say, man. Like, look at the direction that Versus is going, bro. Like, they could literally like this is a setup for live
exactly,
performances, bro. Can you imagine going to a concert and
exactly.
on one side of the stage is Earth, Wind, and Fire, and on the other side of the stage is the Isleys? Like, come on, dog. And
I
I'm
come
paying.
on,
I'm paying to
come
get in
on,
there. You know, like
yes,
that's
sir,
crazy. That's
top dollar,
crazy. That's crazy. That's epic.
yeah, bro,
So I'm calling that right now, man. Like
yeah,
like
man,
once things I
yeah,
get into a better spot, as far as the pandemic is concerned, like man, I can absolutely see that being being the next step in their evolution. So shout out to Versus.
yeah, and that's something. Yeah, that's something that I didn't really understand about, like, say, like, the Joe Budden podcast. They were talking about, do you think Versus is still going to be viable when things open back up? Because they were like, people are not going to, like, really be spending their time at home gathered around IG or gathered around YouTube.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, well, when things open back up, you could do it live. I don't,
Absolutely.
I kind of see it going bigger because let's be honest, bro. Like Versus, Swift and Tim didn't create Versus. They created the brand and the name Versus that was spelled with two Z's. That's
Right.
about it. But the whole idea of musicians battling their catalogs, to my knowledge, that started in Jamaica and it was called sound clashing.
Mm.
So you had one artist and another artist,
Right.
you know, clashing their sounds and who's gonna come out the victor.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
like
Yellow
they've
Man
always
versus
done
Buju
that.
Banton. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
exactly.
Come
For
on.
a long time, way before any name was put to it. This was just called sound clashing. And I remember back in the day, Popcorn and Wiz did one on
Mm.
TV. I remember like they were battling like and they were doing like live versions and remixes and stuff like that. And I think Popcorn won just because, he was doing more like fanfare and stuff like that.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like that wasn't a versus battle. That was a sound clash and stuff like that. And
Right.
that was on TV, that was live, and there was a whole studio audience. People were going crazy. So yeah, I'm sure when things open back up and people can gather and stuff like that, why not, take it to the road and,
Exactly.
one night only type of thing. If you can get tickets, go live and you can get a TV deal. Who knows?
Yeah.
Turn on VH1, turn on ABC, turn on something, and
And,
then you can see it
and you brought up
versus
reggae.
live tonight.
Right. You brought up
Yeah,
reggae.
exactly.
I mean, think about the history. Battle of the Bands. Same type of deal.
Come
Like
on.
they can expand the rock. They can expand the country. You know what I mean? I mean, you
Hmm.
get two big artists with decent catalogs, man. You selling it out. Period. That's a
Exactly.
great business
Exactly.
model. That's a great business model.
Exactly.
So
So
I honestly don't see how they
I
don't
don't see it.
continue.
I don't see it going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't see how they don't continue.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see where it goes. Who would you like to see, man? If you could pick
Yeah.
two artists that you would like to see, who would it be?
Hey man, it's a lot of mashups out there. It's a lot of people out there who, Drake and Kanye would be cool,
That'd be nice.
but Who knows if they would actually step in the ring.
Right.
Uh, Jay-Z and Nas, we don't want to open up that wound again, but it's like, come on, man. It's a lot of things out here where it's like, all right, man, like
Hey, those tickets to a live Jay-Z and Nas versus is starting at 500. Period.
crazy,
Guaranteed.
crazy,
And I'm paying. And
crazy.
I'm paying it. I don't care.
Come on, man. Justin Timberlake and Usher.
That'll be a good one.
Just a
That'll be a
lot
good
of
one.
artists that people have kind of compared, and it's like, all right,
Mhm.
all right.
Mhm.
Like,
Shit, even a Chris Brown and
man,
Usher will probably set it off.
crazy,
Because Usher,
crazy.
because I remember for a minute when Chris Brown first came out and he was, busting out the dance moves. You know what I'm saying? They was like, "Oh, nah,
Come on, man.
he's trying to
Come
do the Usher.
on.
He's trying to
Yes,
do the
sir.
Usher thing."
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Who else? Tribe Called Quest versus De La Soul or something like that.
Nasty throwback. Yeah,
You know,
nasty.
yeah. It's a lot of places we can take it, and we really just keeping it in hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, there's soul. You can do Boys to Men versus Jodeci. Well, that's R&B, but I mean, like, yeah, Boys to Men versus Jodeci.
Right. Bruno versus The Weeknd.
They ain't ready for that one.
Hey, that's strong though.
Come on, man.
That's strong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of places we could take it.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
lot of places we could take it. But hey, not to necessarily be, a commercial or a spokesperson, but I'm just a hip hop fan, and I studied marketing, so when I see things like this, I get excited because I like product. I like where the culture can take things. I like kind of what this means for the culture.
Exactly.
And I came up being excited from seeing, Kanye West to where he is now. They talk about, 6.6 billion. I was always a fan of Kanye. And I remember at one point telling myself, man, I'm gonna try to cop everything that he's involved with until it got too crazy, until
Right.
you couldn't keep up, even before Kanye, when I was a fan of 50, I remember telling myself, like, I'm trying to cop anything that's G Unit related, like, until it got too crazy. It
Right.
starts off just little things here and there, and then it's just everywhere. They're just dropping a million things.
And you know
But
what? I almost grabbed the S. Dot Carters, man. The Reeboks when they first came out.
yeah,
I almost grabbed them. I almost grabbed
exactly.
them.
You know,
Shout out to the core.
so so I say all that to say, hey, I say all that to say, when I was watching the verses, right?
Hmm.
I had to crack myself some
Ooh,
cacti.
come on now.
Now
Travis.
this is Travis Scott's new seltzer.
Yeah.
So if anybody is, aware or a fan of White Claws, Truly, High Noon, I know Budweiser has one, Corona has one. Like, seltzers are just big now. I know, like, White Claw was first on the market and people was like, "Oh, that's a white girl drink."
Right.
But I guess the thing was that it hit hard and it had less calories. So there was a lot of dudes who, I guess, they drank it as a meme at first, but then it really started picking up viral steam as like, "Hey man, this doesn't have all the calories of beer, but it's hitting me hard just like a beer. It's got the same alcohol,
Exactly.
uh, content." So, they're crushing White Claws, they're getting white girl wasted and whatnot. So then you have, Truly, you have all these other brands that are now kind of marketed to men and women. Whereas White Claw, you can tell, is literally just marketed to women. So now you have all these other seltzers out here, and the market's huge, right?
Right.
So here comes Travis Scott. He steps in the ring. His brand is called Cactus Jack. He's got cacti now, and tastes good, bro. It's 7%, which is higher than the other ones. The other ones are 5%. It's made with agave. So that kind of gives it like a tequila type of flavor.
Nice.
But the thing, when you have a good tequila, it doesn't really get you that type of like headache or whatnot. Like I don't know. I've I had Truly, right? And when I drank Truly, I'm telling you, it was like when I finished drinking it, it was like a slight like headache or something. And when I drink this, it's smooth. You can definitely feel the 7%, but at the same time, like I guess what I'm trying to say is when you drink like a higher quality alcohol, it doesn't hit you like that. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Like, the difference between like, say if you were drinking vodka, the difference between a
Savetka and a
Ciroc
Grey Goose.
and or a Ciroc and a Stoli, like one is
Right.
gonna hurt you. One is gonna hurt you. So like I said, man, it ain't no commercial, I'm not trying to push it. I'm not trying to advertise. All I'm saying is I was proud of Travis, for getting a product out there that's not limited. It's not like you gotta rush and find it and you gotta buy it on StockX,
Right.
but it is something it is something that is going to be in all the stores. Anheuser-Busch is working with him on it, and to see a hip-hop artist have something that's just going to be regularly available in stores next to every other product,
Right.
that's kind of cool. I
That's
mean,
cool. Expanding this brand, jumping into
the
that
only
market.
other exactly the
Yeah.
only other thing that I could say is comparable is if you're in the grocery store, look in your cereal aisle, and you'll see Little Yachty. He's got his face on a box of Reese's Puffs right now.
Mm.
Now I know Travis Scott had put his face on some Reese's Puffs, but he only sold those limited at like sneaker drops and stuff like that. So you couldn't get those in the stores. But every store I've ever been to, whether it be Walmart, Giant, Kroger, whatever, it's stocked with these Little Yachty's Reese's Puffs.
Little Yachty, little boat.
So it's like, it's like, man, for the hip hop kid in me to see where some of these artists have taken it, and they really have their products stocked, like they're just part of the American brand now. They're not necessarily fringe. They're not counterculture. They really are mainstream, man. They're really out here doing it, and they're as American as Aunt Jemima. It's
Come
like
on, bro.
they right out there.
Yeah, yeah. They're as American as StockX Pepsis. You know what it is. But man, I saw that the cacti, right? I saw that
Yeah.
somebody had actually mixed it with something.
Mhm.
They had made a drink. Let me see if I can find it, man. Because I did see
But
that.
yeah, man, yeah, go on.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, when you said, somebody mixed it with a drink, that made me think about somebody's comment. I watched somebody on YouTube try it, and they said it reminds them of like a club drink. It reminds them of like a club soda mixed with like a vodka or something, because it
Right.
kind of has that taste, so it's like that makes sense, and it's 7%. So I can, like, when things open up, I can see it being something that's available in a club, or that people are really going to gravitate to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, especially if it's doing what you're saying it's doing. You don't get the headache. You still get the flavor. You still get the seltzer,
Hmm. Yeah,
like drink experience that people like right now. Because I'll be honest, at first I wasn't a believer, man, but
yeah,
I kind of I do like the
yeah,
seltzer thing. No, because think about it, bro.
yeah,
On a hot day, when you by the pool or you out and about, you want to grab a drink or something. It's refreshing. It's light. It still gets you to where you want to be. Like you feeling good about it,
yeah.
not getting you all bloated and stuff. So I can see why it really popped up.
Hey, and I know you was just on vacation in Fort Lauderdale, man. I seen the snaps. Y'all was lit, and I seen a couple seltzers out there. So yeah, I could only imagine you was on the boat there. Like, you know what? Let me get one of them, man. Like, let me see what it's talking
Hey,
about.
hey, toss me a cold one, toss me a cold one. And here at the car we drink responsibly. Believe that,
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
hey,
sir.
hey,
21 and over
that,
only.
that's it. That's it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, point being, right? like down there, seltzers are
Mm-hmm.
flowing, man. It's hot. You know what I mean? People are dancing, the music's going, the sun's out. I mean, it's just an all around good time, man. It's the perfect drink for a good time in the sun. So, like you said, this isn't a commercial, but I mean, just from our experience, man. Shout out to Travis Scott for jumping in that space, honestly, because it's a huge market right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge market. And you said
Yes, sir.
you said they got the agave in there. Come on now,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Did you find that drink? What they mix it with?
I didn't find it, but it was like
Okay.
but I did see one person post a recipe. It was like the Ciroc. I think it was Ciroc mango or something mixed with the cacti. You know, which is decent. Like you said, it's vodka and agave
Okay.
mix. So, I mean,
Yeah.
sounds good to me, right? Obviously, you don't want to be driving, but sounds
Why not?
amazing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Get your designated driver, or make sure your Uber app is ready.
Yeah, big facts, man. Hey, let's see, stream. Yeah, I couldn't find a drink, man. I couldn't find a drink, but who knows? They'll probably end up mixing it with a little bit of everything. I think.
Good.
Yeah, straight up. I've been watching.
You
I've
know
been
how
watching.
it go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I've been seeing your boy DJ Khaled. You see his Versace drop?
I heard about it, man. I ain't see the clothes yet.
Yeah, just since we on like people in the culture being in business, you know what
Artisan.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, collaborating and things of that nature, man. They got Khaled out here with the lion Versace print jacket with the lion Versace print, jogger bottoms with the Versace print pillow. I'm like, damn, they really tapping in, right? You know what I'm saying? Hip hop culture is
Hey,
really taking
man.
the forefront.
Like, hey, man. I'm excited. Like, I'm glad for him, man, because like I've definitely never copped anything that expensive. I think the most expensive thing, clothing wise, that I've copped is like Off White, which
Right,
is it's not cheap, but Off White is still like less than say like Versace or Gucci or anything like that.
right,
So my thing is I'm also not as big as Khaled, but I think it's dope that in Khaled's line, I'm sure the sizes are going to range for someone as big as Khaled.
right,
Because for like any time that I've copped say like Off White or a Bathing Ape or something like that, like a Bathing Ape especially because it's a Japanese brand, and I'm sure Japanese people just run smaller than Americans.
mm-hmm.
My brother is skinny, like he's kind of like a twig out here. And like when I bought him something for Christmas, it was a large and it was looking small on him. So I went and got him like a 2X, and that was just looking a little baggy. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, son, like, like on Bathing Ape, like for the t-shirts, I got a cop a 3X.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
Like I know off white, they kind of run big, but it's like, man, like for some of these big brands out here, it's like their sizing, it runs small. Cause I guess that's just outside of, like I said, outside of Bathing Ape being like a Japanese brand, like a lot of these fashion brands are high fashion brands. They like their prototypical person is like a very, very small person.
Right.
So you don't even have to be big. You could be like yourself, like a muscular person, and it's gonna be hard to really like try to fit into some of these fashion stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for
I
for
think the most
Khaled to really
expensive.
get in there,
Yeah, my bad. And I was gonna say
yeah,
the
go on.
most expensive thing I had was a Saint Laurent shirt, right? That I had caught
Yeah,
when I was still in Chicago in the industry. And man, snug, bro. Like they extra large is not the
you
extra
know
large that we used to. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Or like back in the day when Red Monkeys was big. You had to cop a size up for sure. I had a couple pairs of Red
Come
Monkeys.
on,
Like you had to cop the size up because they didn't size it
yep.
for the supersized American,
Hmm.
if you will. But yeah, back to your point. Yeah, yeah. Shout out,
Exactly.
shout out to Khaled though.
Yeah, man, and like you could be a regular in shape American and still be bigger than other people in the world that they're designing these clothes for.
Absolutely.
So it's like, man, bro, like, shout out to Khaled because I know he's just gonna have sizes for everyone up to his size. Anybody who pushed out, I think Khaled got you. So that's a good thing, man. Shout out to Khaled, bro.
Yeah, man, for breaking into that space and you know what? Honestly, man, I got to shout out to Versace too because they're recognizing the power in the culture. You feel me? I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
I,
Yes, sir.
I mean, Khaled is an influencer, bro. Period. He got the keys. You feel me? So it's like
Yes, sir. Yes,
he
sir.
he out here, man. He doing his thing, and man, you know, we salute that for sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's a lot going on. And
So
go ahead.
I was gonna ask, you know, I've been, trying to catch these movies every Friday. I've been trying to catch movies every Friday now that they're going straight to HBO Max, or at least a lot of them are. Last movie I watched was the Snyder Cut
Sheesh.
of Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't know the story, or if any listeners didn't know the story by now, Justice League dropped, and it was originally directed by uh, Zack Snyder, and the studio kind of looked at what he wanted to do, and they had, I think his name is Ross Whedon, and they had this guy recut the movie, re-edit the movie, repackage the movie. And this guy cut a lot of the scenes of Cyborg out, basically cut a whole lot down, because this movie was 4 hours, right? So to go into theaters, I think they cut it down to like two, or maybe even under two,
Right.
but it got panned, right? The movie was panned. They said it was shit. And DC doesn't have a lot of hits under their belt like Marvel. So, this was coming back on Snyder, and he kept saying, "This is not my cut. This is not my cut. This is not my vision. This is not what I wanted to do." So for like a while, I think it was like maybe a year or 2 years, they've been donating. So last Thursday was the day, or maybe not even last Thursday, just like a few days ago. A few days ago was the day that the movie finally aired on HBO Max. So it was the director's cut in all its glory. It wasn't widescreen. It was in like 4:8. Um, it was a very artsy or artfully shot movie, very dark compared to a lot of other superhero movies. Um, the dialogue was dark, the shots were dark, uh, the plot was dark, and you had Batman using the F word. It's like other people was cursing, so it was like a very, very, I guess, just realistic dark movie,
Right.
and it was 4 hours long. So like, while it was really long, it was a good movie. I'll say that. Like, they definitely went through everyone's origin story very thoroughly, because with 4 hours you can do a lot.
Right.
They went through the battle really thoroughly. After the battle, they went through the aftermath of a battle, and they kind of left the scene open to say, like, okay, is there going to be a follow-up or whatever? But for all the years that's ever been talked about, for everyone who's always, and like, when people was out here like, the Snyder Cut, the Snyder Cut, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was sitting there like, what is this, like,
Right.
why is it such a big deal? And I guess what's kind of messed up is that, I don't know if it's because he also did Batman versus Superman. So
Right.
I don't know if because Batman versus Superman was panned, and he also put out his director's cut for that, which I guess was still panned. But I don't know if it's because of he had a few misses or something like that, or people were just going in on him, that people bullied his daughter because
Wow.
of it, right? And his daughter ended up committing suicide. So I didn't know that part of the story on why this movie was so important to people, on why like this was kind of like his redemption arc, on why he needed to prove himself.
Right.
But I think he did, man. The movie was really, really dope, and it kind of showed you, like, dang, maybe you should like hear a director out. Maybe you should try to work with them a little bit more. Like, obviously, when you're putting things out, the studio wants to make back a buck, and they also want to put something in theaters that's like gonna be not too long, maybe not a 4-hour movie. They could have broken it up into two movies, kind of like how Endgame was,
Right.
but they kind of just whittled it down to two and cut a lot of stuff out and was jumping from here to there. So after everything that he's been through, and he was able to like get his vision out there, I kind of understood it. I was like, I see why this was so important to a lot of people. I see why this was a big deal. So I just want to give a shout out to him, and kind of ask you if you've seen it, or what other movies or shows you've been keeping up with lately.
Man, so let me start from the beginning, bro. There's been a lot of criticism on the DC movies, right? Aquaman,
Yeah,
Superman, Batman versus Superman. Me as a comic book fan and just having a big imagination, like I love them all. I like them all. I just like engulfing myself in
yeah,
those, and I'm not criticizing them as much as a lot of people are, just because they just want to if it's not their idea of what it's supposed to be, then they want to criticize and slam it, right? I mean that's how
yeah.
internet people are. They just need to relax. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I see that Marvel, because they did their job, right? Marvel Studios did their job. They set the bar on these superhero movies. Honestly, they set the bar. So it's like,
Yeah,
you
hi.
know, high, bro. So unfortunately, DC, you know, has kind of been, stuck trying to reach that bar, trying to produce movies that going to
Mm-hmm.
hit that. But they have to go with the storyline of the characters that are DC characters. They can't match
Yeah.
Marvel characters storylines because they got their own storylines. So I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
a bias. I'm not biased, but I have my own opinion about it, man. I love them. I love them all. I think the Snyder Cut one, just like you said, was very important because he was the original director, and you're getting a little bit more in depth. And to be honest with you, superheroes are people too, just like us, right? So I mean, not to say that like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
real, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean, though, like and
Yeah. But yeah,
but
you
an
got to
adult,
show them. Yeah.
yeah, an adult fighting crime, is gonna drop a couple swear words when he's punching somebody in the face or you take a shot to the ribs, like you know what I mean, like that shouldn't be a big
Yeah.
deal. And if you ever read a comic book,
Yeah.
I mean, the comic books drop swear words and sexual interactions and adult innuendos all the time. Like it just happens. It is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's just regular life. But I mean, I think that, like you said, man, I'm happy that they released this version. I'm happy he got to. It's kind of like his redemption song, and everything that happened with his family. Like I said, the internet comic book world can be brutal, man. Like, come on, bullying his daughter,
Yeah.
like come on, slow down. It's
Yeah.
like slow
Like,
down,
yo,
man. You know,
she ain't got nothing to do with these movies, man.
nothing to do with nothing, but you just wanna, you sitting in your basement trying to target somebody, but we ain't gonna go down that path.
Exactly.
But it's I'm excited, and I watched it once. I'm gonna watch it again. Honestly, I know it was long, but it's Sunday, so I'm gonna go ahead and bust it out. But yeah, yeah.
you know?
You feel me? So I mean, I'm happy. I'm like I said, I'm happy they released it, and I've been watching a couple of other good shows. One that me and my friends were talking about was Good Girls. I don't know if you've seen that. Uh,
Yep, yep.
you been watching Good Girls?
I haven't watched it. I've seen it. I definitely have seen an episode. I know what it's about. I
Hey
gotta I gotta
man,
definitely tune in.
hey man, it's hilarious. The plot was written well. You know what I mean? Like it's one of
Yeah.
those it's one of those
Yeah.
shows you turn on and you can rock with because there's so many intricate intricate parts of it. You know, everybody's got their own story, but they all come together, and it's just funny, and you know what I mean. Like, it's a good show. So that's what I've been watching, man. That and the Snyder Cut are probably my most recent. They got a couple. They got a couple things dropping. I saw that they dropped. Disney dropped Raina. Um, Rain and the
Okay.
Dragon, something like that. But then I went on there. I got the Disney subscription. I tried to go watch the movie,
Yeah.
and they're talking about, oh, you got to buy the premiere. Yeah, I mean
Mm.
the premiere package. I'm like, fam, I already
Yeah, that's
paid.
a little.
I already paid for the
That's a.
subscription. Like, what
That's
you
a
gonna
little
do?
rough, man, because I know they did that same thing with Mulan, right? It
Right.
was like, for people who already pay, they want you to pay again. And how are they trying to compete when you have movies that are just popping up on HBO Max and you can watch them?
Exactly.
Like if I pay for this service and this new movie drops that really should be in theaters, but it drops, I guess you can take the Disney approach and be like, yo, drop me, $5 or something like that. But really, what I heard Disney is doing is like, yo, pay me $15, pay me $20.
Man, they were charging. I
Like
think
if
I think
a
24.99.
movie,
Yeah, I think it was 24.99.
look at that. Look
Come
at
on,
that.
bro.
Look at that. Pay me. I better own this movie for life then.
And I
Like,
mean, and just to be real, 24.99, like that's a
that's a
popcorn and a
DVD.
ticket. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
that's popcorn and a
Exactly.
ticket at the theater.
So
Like,
you might as well send me a voucher for popcorn. Like, let me go and redeem this at the grocery store
you
because
know what I'm saying?
with that 25, like you said, they probably are thinking in their mind, you spend 25 going to a theater because not only are you buying a ticket, but you're buying popcorn and a drink and maybe candy.
Exactly.
But who says I have all that on hand at the crib? Like, so I spent 25. Now I got to go out and get the snacks just to
Right.
make it like, come on. No, like I said, HBO Max could pull that wild mess, but they're not doing that. They're just like, hey, you already paid for the service and you got it,
Hey,
which
bro. Real talk.
Disney should be doing the same thing.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And you know it's crazy because when I tried to watch the movie, they were like, "Oh, you got to get premiere
Yeah.
access." I had to pull up my account. Like, hold on, did my Disney subscription hit this week? Oh yeah,
Come
it
on,
did. Like, what
man.
you mean I gotta pay
They
24.99?
wilding. They wilding out here.
Wow, you out here that's double taxation without representation. Come on, homie, slow down. What's going
Speak
on?
on it.
What's
Speak
going
on
on?
it.
You know, so
Yeah, man.
yeah, Disney, if you listening, you wilding.
They
That's all I
tripping
gotta
out
say.
here, man.
That's all I got. 'Cause to watch
They
Raina and
tripping
hey,
out
to
here.
watch Raina and the Dragon. Come on, dog. Come on, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop the madness, man.
And it's crazy, man, because Disney, I'm pretty sure they own ESPN, ABC, like
Mhm.
everything, So it's like at first I was about to shoot them some bail and be like, you know what? People haven't been able to go to Disneyland and Disney World, so they got to find their money somewhere else. And
Right.
HBO Max doesn't have an HBO World, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, nah, bro, because y'all still own ABC and ESPN and Disney
Yeah.
Channel. Y'all got a whole bunch of like other assets other than Disney Plus.
And y'all just had the
So
bubble,
yeah,
man. Y'all just had the NBA bubble
come on, come on, man.
at Disneyland, man. Getting all that viewership, getting all that, getting all that advertisement money. What you doing, man?
Yes,
I,
sir.
I can't see Rain in the
Yes, sir,
Dragon.
man.
You know what I mean? You can't. I can't
Come
watch
on,
the new
come
Pixar.
on.
That's bogus.
Wilding out here.
Come on, man. I'm trying to maintain the quarantine. Stop it.
Exactly, exactly.
Hey, man. Hey, but bro, we got the merch coming out. Let's talk about the merch. I know people
Yes,
seeing.
sir. Yes, sir. People waiting. I told Artificial I'm gonna send him something.
Right.
So like everyone who's been on the show, just wait to hear from us because we got you.
We
We're gonna
got you.
hold you down out here.
Yeah.
Um,
I took
but
it.
yeah, man,
I was
go
gonna say
on,
I took
go
the
on.
shirt. I took the Kai shirt. I ran it over. I threw it on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I washed it twice. Good material. Good logo.
Mm-hmm.
Resilient.
I washed mine.
Just like the
It's still
show.
good.
Yeah.
It's got that the logo is a little raised a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not a thin print on there. It's
Yeah,
heavy duty.
good quality.
The shirt is heavy duty as well.
I
Um,
had a lady in Florida walk up on me. She was like, "Hey, is that about fish? Is that a podcast about fish?"
yeah, it's a podcast about whatever you want it to
Yeah,
be.
yeah. I said, join the stream. Join the
Yes,
stream.
sir.
I had to
Yes,
spit it to
sir.
her. I ran it down to her, and she was like, "Man, that's interesting." She was like, "So you guys just talk about anything?" And I said, "Yeah, here at the COD, there is no subject that is off limits. We just going with the
Hmm.
flow. We just
Yeah.
flowing day to day, and that's
It's
how
like
we."
if you was gone fishing.
Exactly. You come here, you throw the line out there, whatever you catch is whatever we talking about, and that's why it's the fresh catch of the day. And we
Come
out
on,
here bait.
man.
Say so. With that
Come
being
on,
said,
man.
merch is coming soon. Look for it. Reach out to us. If you're on the
Hey,
show, expect one. If you're part
yes,
of the
sir.
family, you're going to get the first dibs on what we got going on.
Shout out the network as well.
That's right. Shout out.
Shout out to Nathan and Alex show. Shout out word on the street.
Hey,
Um,
everybody on the network.
I've been telling Nathan that like I got this logo coming soon,
Mm-hmm.
just to and yeah, bro, I'm gonna show you the logo in a minute. So yeah, man, the merch is popping, the logo is popping. We literally, back to the merch, we were speaking about the pricing. So yeah, man, we definitely are getting these at a very, very good rate. So that means you are gonna get them at a good rate. And I already got a website set up for the Dreamers, if y'all know, and there's a shop on there. So, in the next few days, we're gonna have a listing up there. So
Absolutely.
tap in, and we're gonna send that link out, man.
Yeah, we out here working, man. It's the COD episode.
And but before we dip, I did lock in JR J.A.R.R.R.
Nice.
We're gonna interview him next week. Now he said he was down to do an interview. Now I hit him up and I asked him what time. Um, so we're still working that out. So I don't want to speak before anything is official, but he said he was down to do an interview. So
All right.
I think the time is just a very minute aspect. We
Yeah,
at the COD, if you've ever worked with us, if you've ever known us, we work with all schedules. So,
absolutely.
um, but yeah, man, between now and then, go tap in with his music. Um, he's a basketball player who has released a few projects. Um, and he's worked with on this last project, he worked with Ransom, who is a legend in hip hop, and he worked with Shay Noir. So yeah, man, we're definitely about to speak to an upcoming legend, a new legend, somebody who has been co-signed by you know the legend Ransom. I mean, that's just huge.
Huge,
If you know hip
huge.
hop, if you're into underground hip hop, if you're a purist, really, if you're about the lyrics, this is somebody that you should tune into. And I'm very, very, very excited to sit down and speak with him. So yeah, man, just stay tuned for next week, man. We got JR in the building next week. We got our merch that should be released the next week, and we got our network logo, and we're gonna get a lot more stuff going on. So yeah, man, this is episode 32 of the COD, and we're gonna keep it pushing.
Hey, we here. Hey, we here, and we ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. Full speed ahead,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
It's
It's
the
up and
COD.
it's stuck.
Yeah, it's up and it's stuck, baby.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's
Peace.
Paul and Ryan, man. Pete,
Ryan and Paul.
Pepsi.